Welcome to Geeknson's How Does It Fit? The series in which we master the art of taming table-hogging games. My name is Michael and I'll be your host. One of the core advantages of having a gaming table is the ability to store your games. This is especially invaluable for campaign and legacy games, which require to save your progress in between sessions. Today, we will showcase one of such games on one of our tables. Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, a cooperative game set in the reimagined world of Arthurian legends. This is an epic narrative game spanning 3.5 campaigns, each containing multiple scenarios and each scenario taking up to several hours to complete. This game is guaranteed to be a regular guest on your table, and once it makes it there, it will stay for long. Up to this point, we've been showing you larger tables from our offer, but not every game is so space-consuming that it requires mammoth table to enjoy. Introducing Mega Small, larger of the 2 coffee tables in Megan range. Lounging on a couch in front of a more relaxed, story-driven game like Tainted Grail is a great idea, especially when you realize that you'll be threading paths on Avalon hours on end. Also, not everyone can afford the space to keep a large table in their home. However, everyone can benefit from having a gaming table in their home. Moreover, I found out that trying to fit a game inside a massive gaming table rarely poses any challenge due to ample space. It is much more fun to try to fit the game to the smallest table possible. So, let's see how does Tainted Grail fit. It is time to release the beast. The beast is out. Let's tame that game. Before we start, I wanted to calm you that there will be no spoilers in this video. We'll start with character player boards. Each player starts with one, and well, it is required for the game and is focus of each character. So let's set it up on the table, so each player has its own place to play. Next, we have to give each player their starting resources, which are marked with those red acrylic cubes. Let's start. The remaining cubes are used to mark many different things throughout the game, including like resources of players. So we'll need to have them on the table. We'll use our acrylic bins to store them. Also, we have this blue color, which is simply like a unit multiplication of 5. So blue cube is worth 5 red ones. So I think it's fine to keep them together. Also, it saves some space. I also found out in those videos that not always separating every single bit component into every separate bin makes sense. So when you can just combine them into one if they are basically the same, if that doesn't affect the game much and saves you a lot of space. Next thing to complete the character setup is to give each player their combat and diplomacy deck. So just you need to prepare those and according to the setup for each character and to create your starting deck. So we'll do just that. I've prepared them beforehand and now I just need to set them up. Next are the encounter decks. We have 4 of those, and in the game each are neatly has neat like dot in the corner showing where it should be placed. Normally we would have used acrylic card dispensers as we like to use them, but the idea for this setup is to help you store the game inside of the table. You will see soon enough what I mean. But for now, we will place all the decks on the playing field because we have ample space to do that. So no need to worry about that. Now we have the event deck. It is a vital part of the game. I won't show you them because, well, here's the story. So we'll just take a few. I won't want to prepare it and say you how to prepare it. That's something you will have to discover on your own when you play. But we'll just mark it that this is the place for that. Tainted Grail comes with those large map location cards. They are beautifully illustrated, have a lot of details for the game, and so basically we'll start with just the beginning, just the first location, your starting point. So let's start. Over the course of game, more and more cards from this deck is revealed as the party travels throughout the lands of Avalon. Right now you can see that we basically use the space. There is some more space available here and there. However, you might be afraid that if you'll be able to fit the rest of the game, the rest of the adventure inside. But the clever design of the game prevents from this game sprawling too much. Despite the fact that the map can grow exponentially throughout the game, usually the older parts of explored map will fade in, will disappear. So it's like more like a scrolling rather than revealing the entire map. Tainted Grail, as well as other games from Awakened Realms, is publisher of this game, are well known for their miniatures, and they are very painstakingly crafted and something to enjoy at your table. Speaking of miniatures, now we'll set up the player minis on the board in the starting location. This is actually a menhir, which is used as a mechanism to this map that I've described briefly previously. It anchors the reality of this game and allows you to explore it. Here we have the trackers. I'm lucky to have metal ones. Usually they come with plastic ones, and they are used to mark time on menhirs and also some other things that I don't want to spoil. The remaining counters, well, we need to have them at hand, so we'll use this acrylic sloped bin to store them, and we'll keep it like here for now. Basically speaking, we are mostly done. The last thing to place on the table are ability cards. We'll place them here. Secret cards, secret deck, we'll place them here. And the item deck, well, we can also place it here. I'm so nonchalant about it because this is a living game in the sense that, as I mentioned, the map will move around and you'll have to move things around inside as well. To accommodate, to adapt to the new situation. So let's say you will lead a new menhir, you will explore new locations, and you'll have to make room, move things a little bit. Also, those decks doesn't necessarily need to be, they don't have to be on the table. They can be in the box. I'm just placing them to show you, well, there is place for them, because in my opinion, like ability deck doesn't have to be on the table, because you level up from time to time, and it's not necessarily. The same goes, maybe items I would leave on the table, and the secret deck definitely can stay in the box. So basically it depends on if you like to have as much things on the table or prefer to keep them in the box when they are needed. I think the other option is simply better. As I mentioned, this exploration journal is a crucial part of the game. However, many people prefer to play with mobile app, and this game has a really nice map with full voiceovers. And while you can keep the phone in your hand, but if you want to have your hands free, you can use the acrylic phone holder, a handy dandy accessory that attaches to this rail and allows you to place your phone or tablet out of your hands. You can easily operate it, and it doesn't impede your field of vision much because it's compact, small, and I think it is a neat addition to this game, something to consider. Small things that make life easier. We can see that the Tainted Grail fits nicely into the table. Despite its epic scope, it is not like a large game in its like physical form. Much more is happening in the story imagination of the players rather than on the table, which is a good thing, and I don't think it's a fault of the game by any means. But in this case, we have the setup ready, and we have some wiggle room to move things around. But the most important thing is, how do we save it? As you know, basically almost all campaign games have one or other saving mechanism that allows you to save the game either mid-game or between games. And no matter how well designed the system is, it is tedious nonetheless. Resuming and saving the game is one of the most hated factors when those games are discussed. So let's imagine a scenario. So you had your fun, you played the game for several hours into the night, and okay, but it's time to go to bed, simply put. And you just leave it, but you can't. You first have to save it. Meticulously record every item, every card, every resource you have. Maybe take some pictures and record it on a special sheet. And when you're done, then you have to pack it to the bags and put the decks inside the box and stuff. And then, when there is a next time to play, what you have to do? You have to resume it. So then you set it up, take it out of the box, and go through this save sheet. And you have to check if every card, token, is in the same status as you left it. And once you're done with the new game, you have to save it again and repeat the process over and over again. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to find time for playing games like that. And when you do, you really want to focus on the game itself. Use it on playing, on the fun stuff, not on the tedious and boring stuff like just moving pieces around. But we have a solution for that. And you guessed it, it involves tabletop leaves. The game is safely stored inside and can wait there for another go. Whenever you're ready, just pop it up and resume the game. That easy. However, what if you'd like to have a constant reminder about your game to make you think about the game that's inside all the time whenever you look at the table? We have a special thing. Let's check it out. Introducing acrylic display case layer. And this thick layer of acrylic is thick enough and sturdy enough to cover your game, cover your table, so you can peer inside and see the games. You remember, the games usually have a really nice, often stunning table presence. Thanks to this display case, we can use the coffee table as a coffee table and enjoy our game at the same time. Any your guests that will come to your home will be able to see the game. This is a great talking point that might get them into the hobby at some point. And a constant reminder for you that the game is waiting there. Whenever you will be passing through the home, you will sneak a glance at the game and think your thoughts will drift to the game, and you will be wanting to play it even more. So I think it's great. And yeah. So, I think that will conclude our video today, and I hope that we were able to show you that even something small like a coffee table in a gaming table form can greatly enhance your life. Not only your gaming, your life. You'll save time and have more time for playing. If you own one of our gaming tables and Tainted Grail, you can take pictures of your setup and send it to us. Send it to info@geeknson.com with "How does it fit?" in the subject line. We will share your pictures in the future video. And remember, keep your games tight, thanks to Geeknson's mind.